Fabulous executive living bordering Oak Mountain State Park. Colleen and David Black, Keller Williams Realty, 356-5412. Call on Colleen.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, August the 22nd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters coming to you from Mount Cheaha, where it's a bit foggy and cloudy this morning. We're still in the clouds up here, but the moisture's beginning to decrease, and it looks like we're headed for some beautiful days here. Not the typical August, that's for sure. Here's a look at our Skycam network, and this is Decatur. What a beautiful shot this morning as skies are clearing in the Tennessee River Valley. Skies have cleared somewhat, although a little low stratus, a little low moisture showing up over the Tom Bigby River at Demopolis. And that's the view of the lodge or the hotel at Cheaha, and definitely visibility not too good up here as we're in the clouds. The surface map this morning shows the front moving through the state of Alabama, and we'll look at that in a little more detail in just a moment. In the upper atmosphere, we have a trough that is bringing us another cooler period of time, as well as some drier air. And then, of course, out there in the Atlantic, we have Hurricane Bill, now a Category 2, but could strengthen just a little bit today. More on that in a moment. Temperatures across the eastern third of the country are still rather mild, and certainly warm in the southwest, where their temperatures at this hour are in the 80s. But otherwise, kind of a cool August day for the vast majority of the central part of the United States. Closer to home, you can see that the front is certainly making its influence felt. You can see all those low 70s in Birmingham and Anniston, Alexander City, Montgomery, and then you can see the mid-60s at Muscle Shoals. So the front certainly making its presence known as it makes its way across the state of Alabama today. A little closer look at the satellite picture. You can see it's cleared across the northwest sections, and it should be clearing across much of the state this morning as this low moisture gets out and the dew points spread in a little bit. QPF pretty much tells the story for the next few days. That is, no rain being forecast for our area, and I think we're going to be dry at least through the middle of the week. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk area on the periphery of Bill, as well as a little section up there in Idaho and Montana for severe weather. In the tropics, still relatively active. We've got Bill, not as active as it was last weekend when we had 3 going simultaneously. And there's a look at Bill. And then in addition to that, of course, we've got that other one back there behind Bill. And here's a look at the track of Bill. So the other one not expected to do much in the next few days. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run. And of course, the big, probably the big focus is Bill out there in the Atlantic. And you can see that the moisture is getting out of here as we have a surface high pressure over the central United States. In the upper atmosphere tomorrow, we have that trough that is moving on. And there's Bill beginning to accelerate. And that brings us a nice Sunday. Looks like the nice air stays with us on Monday as the high moves into, a little bit, almost positioned on Chicago or a little to the southeast of Chicago. And then the high moves a little further on Tuesday as it gets centered over West Virginia. By Wednesday, you can see that the trough has weakened quite a bit, and that is allowing some moisture to return, although Wednesday is probably going to be a day where we might see an isolated shower. It's going to depend on exactly how much moisture returns, and pretty much the same for Thursday. GFS not putting out much in the way of precipitation, but indeed it will depend on exactly how much moisture returns. Of course, by Thursday, we do have a front off to our north, and the reason the front's not making too much progress is that we don't have a very deep trough that's coming across. This is Friday for the 500 millibar pattern, and below that you can see that the front doesn't make much progress, but moisture certainly increasing, especially from the western border of Alabama off to the west. By Saturday, the trough is intensifying just a little bit, and then by Sunday, the trough is once again sharpening up, and that could mean some rain for next weekend, but that's verging out into voodoo. And speaking of voodoo, real quick, looks like the trough dominates much of the second week of the GFS forecast, and you can see the trough there at the 4th of September as we begin to get into what is the start of fall. We'll certainly appreciate you tuning in to the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted here tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock or so, maybe just a tad earlier. Depends on how early I get up. All right, in the meantime, hope that you enjoy this beautiful weekend we have in store with just a hint of fall. Godspeed.